Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Run.down. I'm Tyrese. I'm joined by Luca at Knicks underscore on Twitter. Great Knicks win. Um, haven't been able to see Knicks win in a while, so it's good to be able to get back in the W column. Knicks win 98-74 in a really, I want to say, ugly offensive game. And I say that despite the fact the Knicks shot 48% from three. But it was a really ugly offensive game. But we saw the return of Jalen Brunson tonight. He missed last game with his knee injury, which looked a lot worse in real time than it actually was. So it was good to see him healthy and able to play. Only played 28 minutes, so it looks like they're still running him back into form. But 26 points on 11 and 19 from the field, 4-7 from three. No free throws. Jalen Brunson in an NBA game, who averages over 6 free throws, took no free throws in 28 minutes of play. And it wasn't like he was just taking mid-range shots. He was actively getting paint touches, still playing the way he normally plays, getting mauled when he got to the rim, and took no free throws. So good win. A lot of strong performances, but I feel like we have to start there.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that Jalen Brunson takes 0 free throws. That's the first time all game Jalen Brunson has taken 0 free throws all season.
I wonder when the last time he's taken no free throws before today was. Probably like mid-season a couple years ago with Orlando or Dallas.
I mean, maybe.
I don't know.
That just sounds insane.
I didn't really want to. I didn't really want to start here, but I guess we should just get it out of the way early. They were.
Yeah.
The refs are just. Sorry, Tyrese. The refs are just something, man. I mean, I kind of knew coming into tonight with Goebel being one of the refs on this crew that it was going to be some nasty work, but I didn't really expect it to be this nasty. Like, the Magic are usually allowed to get away with a bunch of bullshit defensively. Today was really bad. Like the Anthony Black stuff with Jalen in the first quarter. A bunch of phantom calls for Orlando. And the free throw disparity didn't look as ugly in the end, but I think it was 15-3 at halftime. Something like that.
Yep.
And I know they were going to the rim, but like you got to call it both ways, man. The refs, I know like refs are normally bad, and I'm glad it didn't hurt us, but this was just a really frustrating game to watch in the first half or the first quarter and a half, given the calling situation from the refs.
Yeah, I just the whistle was really inconsistent. I think Josh Hart even ended up getting a tech because it was like, I think the team was just frustrated. And granted, they were winning, but yeah, I just don't. I think it frustrated me to like watch because it's like the team clearly was getting fouled. Like this team gets to the rim probably more than any other team in the league, and they just did not get calls. So
yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about the refs. I'm like I said before, I'm glad we don't have to talk about them for a long time because it didn't affect the outcome of the game. So I want to move on to start talking about the bigs. Precious was fucking awesome tonight defensively.
Yep.
15 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 5 blocks. 7 stocks in. Oh wow, he played 40 minutes. Jesus, 7 stocks in 40 minutes. He was a plus 25, and he had 2 threes. But he defended Paolo incredibly well tonight.
After the first quarter, I thought he was like locking him up.
Yeah.
Paolo scored, I think 12 in the first quarter, and then he scored 23 for the
11 the rest of the game. Yeah.
Yep. He took that shit personally.
And I mean, same with Hart, man. Like the backcourt was, or the front court rather, was really good And they really, I think, set the tone for us tonight because the first quarter we didn't really pull away too much, but you could tell there was like a concentrated effort to stop the Magic from getting in the rim because I feel like that's been one of our struggles recently in this last stretch without Julius, Jalen, and OG. And it was just good to see them make that or have that come to fruition because the Magic are a team that gets to the rim a lot, um, especially with Franz and Paolo, and Wendell Carter is good at the rim, but the free throw numbers might say they got to the rim a lot, but nothing was easy for them. I mean, 34% from the field, 23% from three for Orlando.
Yep. That's what you call starting off the water. But before we get into more conversation, time for our favorite part of the show, the ad read. We've got a great new sponsor. I love betting my friends and betting them on anything. Sports games, who's fast. That's what Cut allows me to do. The Cut app is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's legal in 40 plus states. Cut has customizable odds, tracking capabilities, and an entire social network with group chats, user profiles, and rewards. All payments, no need for Venmo. We have that Lakers Milwaukee game coming up. I don't think LeBron is playing. So if you want to be filthy, like our good friend Sam would be, you could bet on D'Angelo Russell threes. I think you could probably bet on something like, let's say, Damian Lillard assists. You know what? I feel frisky. I'm going to take the over on Giannis threes. I just have a feeling.
He'll hit a three, 100%.
Yeah. So, if you want to get filthy like us, I don't make parlays like Sam, but you know what? I feel like Sam will respect that one. He's sleeping, so he wouldn't be able to tell me anything otherwise. But use our promo code at Believe Knicks. That's BLEAV Knicks for a 10% welcome deposit bonus. Don't forget that promo code BLEAV Knicks. Believe Knicks. Cut. Put your money where your mouth is. All right, and back to our regularly scheduled programming.
I don't really. I mean, I guess we could talk about Jalen a little bit more. Needed his scoring in the first quarter. I think he scored like 12 in the first.
Yep.
Something like that. And like you said earlier, Tyrese, good to see him not look injured. Like I thought he was moving well. Didn't really look hampered by the injury at all. Even with him getting knocked down to the floor countless times with no calls. But we'll move past that. But yeah, I mean, he really set the tone offensively, made the Magic really pay extra attention to him. They started trapping off screens super early in the game, which opened up a lot for other guys in the offense. Dante didn't shoot well by any stretch, but he hit 2 threes in the first quarter. And as a team, we're kind of just unconscious from three for the whole game. 49% from three, 16 to 33. Well, you'll take that. It's good to really kind of just walk all over a really good defensive team in Orlando, even if we're not full strength. And speaking of being full strength, it sounds like there's a chance OG could play on Sunday, which is good news, man.
Honestly, this team desperately needs it. I think someone like Josh Hart especially needs it. After his comments, and I think in the Thursday presser, after practice, where he's kind of like he looks good. This team just needs bodies, and it'd be nice to see OG play with Bogey, especially because I feel like that's probably going to be the bench unit. I think will probably get to see the bench unit in full for the first time, which is good because OG usually will lead the bench unit. I wonder if he'll be on a minutes restriction. I would assume he probably stays around 28 to 32. I don't think Tips is going to go crazy. But then again, he played Dante DiVincenzo like damn near all of the second half.
Played like 17 straight minutes or something.
Which is nuts. Like, I still can't believe that. But
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too mad. But yeah, otherwise... God. Okay, I can't even think of words.
Dude, what's going on with you tonight?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, it's like it's kind of weird because there's not a ton to talk about despite such an awesome performance. Like we played defense incredibly well. Um, everyone was hitting threes, and the refs blew, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like
I do
think
feel like we could talk about Josh Hart though.
I was just gonna talk
Yeah.
about him. Yeah, he was really good tonight. 42 minutes, which I'm sure he's not happy about. But 19 points, 7 boards, 4 assists. He was a plus 23, 8 of 12 from the field, 3 of 5 from three. Another really good 3-point shooting night for Josh. Really good to see him actually shooting threes again. I don't know what happens in the second half of the year that he just decides to start shooting the ball again, and it's like, oh yeah, this guy can actually shoot the ball if he shoots the ball. So good to see him spraying again. He'll keep making I thought he was really solid again defensively. He's always all over the place. But I think you could feel it a little extra tonight, especially given how well we protected the rim.
Yep.
And I don't know, man. We just needed his energy tonight. We say it all the time about him, but the way the refs were, he kind of just electrified the crowd and gave us that extra spark of energy. The putback to ice the game was nasty.
Mm-hmm.
He had a couple. I don't know how he wasn't credited for any steals, but he made countless Josh Hart knocking the ball loose plays as he normally does, getting us extra possessions, securing rebounds. And yeah, he was just really good tonight. And to your point, Tyrese, earlier, hopefully OG's back. Hopefully OG's back soon so he can get a little bit of rest.
Honestly, it just kind of felt like he shot 5 threes, and I feel like he could have shot like 7 or 8. But I'm not going to complain about Josh Hart shooting threes, especially if he's shooting 5. And he's been on an absolute tear since the All-Star break, which is really good to see. So it kind of feels like that meme you put up earlier where it's like when February rolls around, he starts waking up. If Josh Hart is just going to be like a second half of the season and playoff player, then like fine, whatever. He's still a positive, but it's like he goes from positive to significant positive.
Yeah.
As Jared Allen hits a hook shot. So
is that game cooked?
Yeah, the game might be cooked.
At least Miami lost.
Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, Josh Hart was incredible. Wow, they called that shit on the floor. Scott Foster's going to hell. Okay. All right. Speaking of good Knicks performances though, Miles McBride.
Yeah.
Deuce. I think probably the biggest beneficiary of all the injuries has probably been Deuce. Because he's gotten reps that he normally would not have gotten. And the fact that he's like so confident now, especially doing stuff off the dribble, is huge for this team's postseason ceiling because he's going to have to run offense and be a plus. He's got to be a neutral ball handler and not a plus ball handler in clutch moments. And when the trade first happened, I wasn't really confident in that. But I feel like he's been able to pick his spots more effectively since the rotation has been shortened due to injuries. And the fact he's getting like minutes starting, minutes coming off the bench, ball handler, primary, secondary ball handler, like he's playing a bunch of different roles and he's been succeeding in all of them. And it's really good to see him playing with confidence, like shooting threes the way he's shooting threes. And he's a legitimate shooter now. Like, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Like, he is shooting 40% on solid volume given the shots that he's taking. Like you will take him shooting 40% on 3 on like a non-significant number. Like
what are the attempts a game?
The attempts are came at 3.1.
I mean, for his minutes,
3.1 in like 15 minutes, that's fine. I think per 100 possessions, he's at 10.5. So like
damn.
He's a shooter.
Yeah.
He's a shooter. Like, he's a legitimate shooter. And the fact that, like, he's not the best inside the arc, but the fact that he's passable this early, again, is huge.
Yeah.
And so it just shows growth potential for me.
Yeah. And to that point, it sucks the way it happened, but he kind of snatched Grimes' chain in a way, and like he just really stepped up when we needed him to. And the fact that he didn't crumble under pressure, given his like ever-changing role and like newfound like lead guard off the bench play, I'm super impressed with him. And like I think we all like saw glimpses of it during the 2021 season and then last year when he played in the playoffs. Like 14 points in 19 minutes, 5 of 7 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3.
And the free throw was off a 4-point play.
Yeah, I mean, 1-3. And it's like when you can put out a lineup when we're healthy of Deuce, Dante, Josh, OG, and like Precious, let's say, our team's gonna score on us.
I mean, we saw it with Grimes. They don't score. Like teams are not going to score. And I think that the defensive rating for that unit was like in the 80s or like the 90s. It was a lockdown unit. So the fact that like you sub out Grimes for Bojan, I don't think it takes the unit that much. And it gives them some more offense, which is like sorely needed. So the fact that they can run out a unit that's still going to produce like probably around a 90 to 100 defensive rating and actually have some juice offensively, like that's a really potent bench unit. Like that's going to be a net rating demon.
Yeah.
Like just thinking about that, like elite point of attack defenders, length and switchability all over, and the fact that you have like multiple shooters, and then Josh Hart, the way Josh Hart is playing, and the fact that he's serious about shooting now, like that's a lineup with 4 shooters. So, or 3.5. You wouldn't be conservative about Josh Hart, but like that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, and to your point about, I'm glad you talked about Bogey a little bit. I still think people need to like lay off him a little bit. I still think he's trying to find his role within this offense because he's going from lead dog on a garbage Pistons team to now a finals contender. So I think he needs to just like find himself. I think we saw a little bit in the Cleveland game when Jalen got hurt. He made like I really think he needs to just buy into being that secondary or even primary playmaker with the bench unit once we do have OG back. Because I think that like we saw before he got hurt, OG starting to mess around with the mid-range bag, and it'll just be really annoying for teams to have to guard. And like you said before, Tyrese, just like the size we could play with that bench unit and the defense, like Bogey's defense won't be that. Hopefully, it won't be that noticeably bad with him playing with 4 other plus defenders. But I think he's gonna have some big moments for us, man. I really do. Like you said before as well, we need that shooting, and the fact that we can just put out a lineup with 4 shooters now, finally. Granted, Tibbs actually doing it is a different story. But to even have that option is huge for playoff success and just spacing generally, because we saw how bad the spacing was for Jalen last year in the playoffs.
Yep. I like the fact that the team has just improved their shooting so drastically is such a big boon for their playoff ceiling. Because last year, like they had shooting, but their shooting was not necessarily efficient. Julius was efficient for his position, but like 34% on the volume he was taking it, and given the fact that he was still hobbled, was like not the best, and he was the main spacing option because he took 8 threes a game. Which looking back again, like he was good at it, but like damn, we had him taking 8 threes a game.
Yeah.
But you replace someone like Grimes who's doing stuff like stationary, the fact with Dante, who's legitimately been a top 3 shooter this year. Like
Yeah.
it's him and Steph.
I was gonna say arguably top 2.
Like I know Luka's been like on a heater and he's been really good, but like the fact that Dante's been doing it at the level he's been doing it with the looks that he's been doing it at, like he's legitimately put himself into like top 3 shooter territory, and Brunson is like top 5.
Yeah, you said that in Strickcord today. Just having, I mean, I think we have 5 40% 3-point shooters.
Yep.
And none of them are OG.
And OG's probably gonna hit 40%
Yeah.
after a couple games. Like he was at 39.5 when he got injured,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll probably be 40 by the end of the season. So the Knicks have 6, and their 3 non-shooters are Josh Hart, really just Josh Hart, Julius, and the bigs. And Julius was like fine after the trade.
And is Josh even a non-shooter anymore?
Yeah, like everybody in this rotation, like you can't leave them open, especially if like in their corners. Like you put Julius in the corner, he's gonna make that. He's shooting like 52% on corner threes this year. So like this team has a ton of spacing. And they just have so much guys who could like get stuff off the dribble. Like hell, our wackest shooter is Burks, and would it surprise anybody if Burks like found himself the playoffs to be like 37%? I don't think he'll play it, but like it wouldn't surprise me at all.
If he plays, he'll have like a 15 points in 10 minutes performance off the bench or something.
And it would be so special.
I'm so like
it'd be game 1 of the Hawks series again where he just goes off for like 26.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like I hope it's against some like if we get Cleveland again and he does that shit against Cleveland.
I feel like we might get the Magic.
Please give me the Magic.
I think they get the Magic. I feel like the Magic just have a schedule that's soft, and I don't know if it'll be 4-5. No, it'll probably be 4-5. I don't know who's going to get home court, but I feel like it'll be 4-5.
I mean, Orlando probably gets home court just because their schedule's like a cakewalk the rest of the year.
I know, but like I don't think the Knicks schedule's that bad either.
It's not. I mean, it really just depends on when we get guys back. The fact that we could get OG back this upcoming
Sunday
weekend is. I mean, I know we're like nearing the mid-March timeline for both OG and Julius, but man, that would be a fucking supercharge for this team.
Yep.
If we build off what we did tonight, and like I don't even think we did anything special tonight either. Like we kind of just played how we normally were before all the injuries. And honestly, credit to Tibbs for the game plan because they must have made a point to just not let the Magic do anything but shoot threes, and it worked out. It worked out really well.
That's the plan against the Magic. The one
shoot.
thing the Magic have lacked, they lack shooting. And that's kind of been the Magic in the work all year. It's like make them shoot, and the fact that they were able to make them shoot is huge. I think even if the Magic were the 4 seed, I feel like the Knicks take that in 5. I can see a gentleman sweep. I can see a sweep. But I wouldn't surprise me if it was a sweep.
It really just.
But I'll give him 5 just because.
Sorry, go on.
I think just like giving the respect to the idea that Paulo could win them a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that series was a sweep.
I will say, Franz scares me a little bit too, because either of them could go off any night. And their shooters can get annoyingly hot. Like we know they're not a good shooting team, but like if a Gary Harris hits like two straight threes, he could have like a 5 or 6 3-pointer threes game.
Joe Ingles,
yeah,
Suggs, Wendell.
Joe Ingles, like Chumo Kiki, Cole Anthony would be another annoying one.
Just because she's not even shooting good this year, but like I can see it happening.
Oh, Jalen Suggs, he was really missed for them tonight.
Yeah, like they had nobody to guard the point of attack, and it showed.
Who did they even have on Jalen? They had Anthony. Oh, they had Anthony Black on Jalen.
Yeah, and that was kind of the problem.
Yeah, I mean, like the fact that Suggs is as good a shooter as he is, I think is really. It's really the only thing keeping this Magic offense afloat, because he's really their only spacing, right? Because we know Paolo can shoot a little bit, Franz can shoot, but they really just need one other guy to hit, and their spacing opens up so much. But like we saw tonight, if nobody's hitting, there's going to be no space for anybody to operate in.
And I feel like what the Knicks are going to do is similar to what they did with the Cavs last year. Where it's like we're going to make your guy shoot. I think it's similar to the Cavs where like they don't think the Magic have 5. And what I mean by that is like they're like, okay, Paolo and Franz are gonna be in the court as much as possible. We know it's gonna be Suggs, we know it's gonna be Wendell. Who's gonna be your 5th guy? If it's Gary Harris, we're gonna fucking go at Gary Harris, we're gonna attack the paint. If it's Joe Ingles, same thing. But like if you're playing one of your more defensive options, then you can't score.
Yeah.
And
like
I don't think you would have been in a rock fight with the Knicks.
Even this year, like I think we were kind of more of a rock fight team last year, just given the way, like just given the fact that we had no shooting, but the amount we have so many plus defenders this year. Like the fact that Precious has kind of just blossomed into this big wing defender is amazing. Now, granted, I don't know if he's going to get. I hope he gets run in the playoffs, but he's also could turn into a problem if teams start to leave him. And I hope Tibbs kind of just like once OG and Julius get back, we've kind of seen the last of Precious at the 4, because offensively it's really bad.
He's a 5.
Yeah, and I mean if he's shooting what he hit, he was 2 of 4 from 3 today, but he only shot when he was wide the fuck open. And I'd love to see him shoot all the time when he's open, because you really just need guys who are like you just need guys to obviously space the floor, because like it was the Josh Hart problem. If he's not shooting the ball, then they can just pack the paint, and then Jalen has nowhere to work at all. But yeah, long story short, Precious at the 5 when we're fully healthy would be awesome. I don't think we can take him out of the rotation completely. I don't think we should take him out of the rotation completely. I think he's way too good a defender and rebounder. And he's, quite frankly, he's really just earned the minutes in this recent stretch.
I agree, but I don't. He would have to go 10. He'd either have to go 10 or somebody's going to get benched, and I just cannot see. If Mitch is healthy, and that's the big caveat, is like if Mitch is healthy, I don't know if he's going to be healthy, but like the fact he's already running and jumping.
Yeah, but like the thing with Mitch is always if he's in game shape.
I mean, I don't think the shape has been a big of an issue the last couple of years. I feel like he's always been. I think the last 2 years, especially, he's been fine. Honestly, last 3, he's been fine. Not since like that foot injury from the We Hear year have I been like, oh, his game shape is bad or whatever. But yeah, I don't see where he gets minutes because there are 3 4s that are better than him and 2 5s that are better than him.
Yeah, I mean,
which sucks, but it's also like, oh, she's gonna play the 4, and you need Bogey shooting. And if Mitch is healthy, why would I play Mitch over Precious? Or rather, why would I play Precious over Mitch? Because Mitch is gonna give me what Precious is gonna give me, especially because like he can do stuff in the perimeter as well, the way Precious does. But he's also the best offensive rebounder in the league, and he's coming off your bench. And then when he doesn't play, you're going to play the second best offensive rebounder in the league who could operate as a playmaking hub. I think long-term Precious's future in the team is going to be decided by like what they could probably get from Mitch if they've decided to make him available.
Do we want to have that conversation tonight?
Probably not tonight.
I mean, no, not because I don't want to, but I think it's necessary to talk about.
It's necessary to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it probably after the season.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll leave it.
Because like this team still has like legitimate, I wouldn't say championship equity, because I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, if you told me the Knicks were in the finals, I'd be like, not what I expected, but also I wouldn't be shocked. But also, I think you need to be realistic and be like, if this team makes the Eastern Conference Finals, that's a win. Hell, if the team makes the second round, it's a win. So,
I think it's really, I mean, it's hard not to think finals, given how dominant we were in, I think OG played 17 games before he got hurt.
16.
In the 16 games before he got hurt.
They were 14-2.
That looked like a finals team.
Yeah,
Like we were crushing everybody. We blew out Denver,
Philly.
blew out Philly. I mean, we didn't really like play a ton of hard teams, but our average margin of victory was like 25 points.
Yeah, it was nuts. And like the only games they lost, one of them Brunson didn't play in, and the other one was just like they could have won it if they rebounded at the end of the game, but they can't rebound in Dallas, Texas for whatever reason.
Oh my God.
So yeah, like I think there's championship equity there. The only problem is like they're probably going to be on the Celtics side of the bracket. You figure, and I don't know if they could beat the Celtics, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Celtics.
Well, you think like this is the time, and I don't know if there's a lot of. Are there any other teams besides like Denver that could give Boston as much trouble as we could?
No,
Because
I don't. I think like you look at the West. Who's really giving Boston trouble in the West? Like the Suns.
I would have said
No.
Minnesota if they were healthy.
Minnesota. Even if Minnesota was healthy, they're just the way they process the game is just it's gonna lose them a first round series.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the show. There's a stupid team.
Yeah, like they are probably the dumbest team in the league, the dumbest good team in the league.
Yeah,
like if you're the Timberwolves, if you get the Lakers, you get the Warriors. I think the Mavericks give them some problems.
to battle the stupid teams.
Yeah, legitimately, like anybody in the play-in picture right now can probably give them a problem, especially the Lakers, because the Lakers would have the two best players in the series by far, and yeah, them and the Cavs feel like my bubble teams, where it's like if they lost in the first round, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. And given the fact that like right now the first round matchups for those teams would be Cavs versus the Heat, I would take the Heat. And you look at the West, it's Timberwolves versus Mavericks. If you told me that went 7, it wouldn't surprise me.
That would be such a gross series.
It's gonna be so gross because every player's gonna piss me off that series. Every player's gonna piss me off. I'm just gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
Not Nas Reed though.
Except for Nas Reed. Nas Reed can't do any wrong. Nas Reed can't do any wrong.
Yeah, I mean the playoffs are gonna be super interesting this year. I don't really like, just to get back to where the Knicks sit and all this. I wouldn't. The one team I really want to avoid first round is Miami.
Yep.
Like Philly doesn't scare me, even with Embiid back. Like they just don't have the firepower.
I think the thing with Philly is like you probably just box in one Maxi. Like I don't care about Embiid. Embiid's gonna score 30, but like we saw it in the first game against Philly, where it's like, yeah, Embiid scored 30. He was still like a negative 27 or whatever because ultimately like their offense is just so bad. Like Tobias Harris, Kelly Oubre, and Kyle Lowry are the guys you're looking for like creation and offense from, and that's just not. But I mean, sure.
Yeah, I know, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like basically all of the playoff teams, like it all comes down to their X factors, right? For Philly, it's Tobias Harris, how he performs, because if he's playing well, then all of a sudden Philly actually becomes scary. Maybe not scary, but they become a hell of a lot scarier than they are right now. Miami, what are you getting from Jimmy? What are you getting from Bam? We know they're going to have the devil magic role player shit going on in the playoffs where all the role players shoot like a gajillion% from 3 for no reason.
Have it in but Patty Mills, dude.
And Jaime Jaquez again. God. Terry Rozier. I can't fucking stand them.
Oh shit, I forgot about Terry fucking Rozier. Oh my god.
He'll have like a 35-point playoff game.
God. They don't die. They don't die.
It'll really just end whenever Jimmy finally retires. which
Oh no, they'll find a way to like give him bionic legs.
they'll
or
clone
something.
him.
Yep, they'll find a Jimmy clone. Nikola Jovic's gonna run the franchise with Jimmy Butler 2.0.
Oh my!
Caleb Martin's sucking now. I swear to God, he's gonna turn like 47% shooter. Duncan Robinson hasn't gotten the chance to piss me off yet. That's gonna happen soon.
He's probably playing the best ball of his career.
Yep,
right
he
now,
has
overall.
handles now.
Did you? I was gonna say you saw that bullshit ass move he pulled on.
I was like, what?
Amen before.
I was like, what?
What are they feeding those guys over there in Miami?
The blood of sacrificed children and the purest cocaine you can find on the beaches. Dude,
So
Jaime Jaquez
so
looked like a
nasty.
guy who absolutely has dabbled in coke before. Okay, like,
oh my god. Yeah, no, I'm really like I said, they're really the only team I actually want to avoid in the first round.
yeah.
Like,
Also,
Magic,
like,
I want all the smoke with. Give me all the smoke with Indiana if they get there, if that's the matchup. Even
Indiana,
Milwaukee, I'm not scared of.
I don't see Indiana making any kind of noise.
I mean, they've fallen hard, right?
Yeah, they're just not a good defensive team, and their offense is okay, but they lack like high end creation. I don't think you could be a guy who gets like I think assists are cool, but you need creation, and their half court play is shaky.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really buy that team as a long term like thing. And it seems like they're gonna pay a lot of money to keep it together. So
Yeah, I mean, the fit with Pascal just hasn't been what they imagined, I don't think. And especially given their he didn't and isn't going to help their defense at all. And we know how locked in shit gets in the playoffs. And like you said, their offense is shaky, man. Like Tally does all like the cool, like flashy passes, and they hit cool threes and whatever. But they also like if their shooters go cold, they're fucked.
And Halliburton, you can't tell him, hey, we need you to like average 30 for a series.
I don't think he can do it.
He can't do it. He cannot do like this team's gonna have to tell Halliburton, hey, you gotta take like 22 shots a game. He can't do it.
Yeah.
He can't do it. Like there are some guys who just like he's got to pass, and it's like that's cool and all, but like who in those teams is gonna take those shots? I think that's the thing with the Patriots has been for me has been like who's gonna take those shots that the role players are gonna take in the playoffs. Like you're gonna look for Benedict Mathurin for creation,
Aaron Nesmith,
Aaron Nesmith,
Miles Turner creation minutes.
Yeah, and then he's already compromised because he wanted to chase the bag over getting rest for his injury, which I respect. Like, get your money, bro. But like, I don't know. They just don't move me.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess this is kind of turning into a playoff preview. Milwaukee, even like we haven't. I wish we played them. Did we play them again this year? Before the playoffs?
I think we do.
So
I want to say
I think we play them in a couple weeks, actually.
Yeah, I think it's at Milwaukee.
I'm super curious to see what that looks like because I think we could. Like we beat them with the old look squad. We should have beaten them multiple times with the old look squad.
You should have beat them in that playing game.
Which one?
Or rather, the
Jalen,
the Jalen
40 piece or the Julius 40 piece.
The Jalen 40 piece.
We should have won both. To be
honest. True.
But like that team also is such a fucking like. I feel like all the teams but Boston are wild cards. even us. Like, it really depends on how healthy we are going into the postseason.
I feel like the Knicks are probably the most stable wild card, though. Like, I think it's them
Yeah.
and the Bucks are like probably the most stable because I think there's a level of consistency that they already have, but you feel like there's another like play they can make. Like, there's a ceiling that's not really defined compared to like, say, the Sixers or the Cavs. I feel like it's really just like the Bucks and the Knicks, and it feels like the Knicks are kind of the third best team in the East, but seeding is going to be weird.
Yeah, it sucks we got injured when we did because, like, the schedule wasn't exactly like difficult, or easy rather, but like there's a lot of games we played that we lost where you're looking at it and it's like, man, if we had like 20 minutes of OG, we win this game.
Yep.
If Dante didn't have to play 1,000 minutes, we win this game. So it's just kind of hard to gauge, right? And like, to your point, that's why the seeding is so spotty, because I think we would have been the 2 seed if we were healthy the whole year.
I think they would have been 3.
Actually, maybe I'm undershooting Milwaukee's record.
Milwaukee, like, they figured it out because Doc Rivers is eventually going to figure it out, defensively at least.
Playoffs are a different story, though.
Yep. But, I mean, I feel like they would have been the 3 seed. 3 seed is like, I don't want to say it's in play, but it's a long shot.
Can Cleveland
and the Knicks would have to get really healthy really quickly. Like, they're 3.5 back, but they have the tiebreaker.
That is true.
They have the tiebreaker, and it's 3.5 games. But like, if the Cavs would have lost the game today, it would have made me feel confident about it. I'm like, okay, they're 2 games back with 19 to play. Like, you can do that, but 3.5 back is a lot.
I mean, the Cavs schedule is actually like not easy.
It's not easy. Like, they have to play some like legitimate teams, and we don't know how Mitchell's going to look.
Yeah, like they play Brooklyn next, right?
Just whatever. But like, they play the Suns, the Pelicans,
Pels, Rockets, Pacers, even Miami twice, Minnesota, Philly. Embiid could be back for that game.
I doubt Embiid's going to play.
I don't think he's going to play before the playoffs either, but there's a chance. And then
like, they play the Nuggets,
Suns again, Lakers, Clippers, Pacers again, and like the Jazz could even somehow pull off a win there if Laurie goes off.
I think there's a chance, but they're probably going to end up with the 4 seed. The Knicks are, so.
Yeah, I mean, Milwaukee's schedule can't be that hard either, right? Like, not so hard they could also just fall off a cliff.
I doubt Milwaukee's going to fall. Like, I feel like they figured it out, and the time to catch them was right when the injuries hit.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing that sucks, man. The injuries hit at the worst time.
Yeah, it was like when the schedule lightened up and you feel like, okay, the Knicks could have gone to like a really, really potent winning streak. Like, they won 9 straight and it kind of felt like they could have got to like 10 or 11.
Yeah. What game broke the win streak again?
The Lakers game.
Oh.
At MSG. And they still could have won that game too. Yeah. If they just hit threes.
I blocked that game out of my memory.
I know. It pissed me off.
Yeah. I mean, it's both sides of it, right? Because like all these games that we've lost, I mean, we kind of touched on it before. It's like we are just like a 20 OG minutes or 20 Julius minutes away from winning a lot of these games. And that's what makes me feel so good about this last final stretch of the year. Because, I mean, especially the last like 7-8 games, schedule's super easy.
Yeah, like they'll play the play-in bowls. They'll like play teams that are probably going to be resting their starters.
We play the Bulls. We play Brooklyn a couple times. We play Toronto, Detroit, and I think we play Boston. But they may be resting their starters by then.
Or like they're probably playing them like significantly less minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a really like the injuries hit at the worst time, but also we're kind of getting the guys back at the best time because you said there's 19 games left after tonight or 18, however many it is.
19.
If we can get 12 to 14 games of ramp up for Julius and OG before the playoffs, I'm feeling really good, man.
Yeah, I think so too. Like I think this team will definitely win a round. Is live to win 2, and they might need a break or 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they can win 3.
Fuck, man. If everything goes well, and some like
If there's June basketball, I will be streaking in the streets.
you and me both.
I will fly back just to streak in the streets.
If Denver somehow, like, I don't see any way they lose before the finals, but if they do, then all of a sudden you're looking at just get through the East. Because no team in the West, we're fine in the West. No. I mean, the Clippers actually do kind of scare me a little bit. But besides them, the cat injury kind of kills Minnesota. We don't know how Book's going to look when he gets back. The Lakers may not even make it out the play-in. Same with the Warriors. Same with the Mavs. Like, for how good the West is, there's not a lot of teams that really scare me over there besides Denver. Or at least that I don't think the Knicks could beat.
Yep. We were just really aggressive. Josh Hart talks about what worked for the Knicks defensively tonight. Yeah, I mean, you could see it too. Like they just kind of played with an energy, and it kind of felt like the team knows they're getting healthy, so they kind of left it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with those games coming up against Sixers, it's nice to get a win going into that game. I think those next 2 games will be at home as well, so there's a real chance for the Knicks to kind of put themselves some cushion from them in the play-in. I feel like if you're the Knicks 4, 5, or 6, you don't matter because you either end up you feel like you go win a round against the Magic, and you feel like you can win a round against the Cavs. Well, you definitely feel like you can win a round against the Cavs. That's not a question. They're gonna win they'll beat the Cavs. It's a matter of do they beat them in 5 or 6.
I mean, dude, we haven't played them with OG yet, so it could be 4.
I don't want to say 4 because I feel like I want to respect Donovan Mitchell. But the fact that he'll win them a game and he'll probably win it at home, but that'd be sick if they just
swept them.
Yeah, if they just swept the Cavs, that's franchise to go into a tailspin.
I mean, if they sweep the Cavs, Donovan's asking out.
Yeah, he's going to the Knicks, and the Knicks are probably going to tell him no, which is ironic.
And then they're going to have to make a Mobley decision short after that.
Yeah, it'd be okay, do you want Mobley or Allen? And then it's honestly, the biggest winner of that would probably be the Nets, because the Nets would probably get Donovan Mitchell, which is hilarious.
To give up Mikel.
No, they'll just trade Ben Simmons expiring and whatever picks. It'd be hilarious.
They don't have any picks because they didn't trade Mikel for the 4 first.
No, they have the picks for the Suns.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot.
And the Mavs pick.
Wow, that was just
they have picks. They're just idiots for not trading their picks.
Yeah, whenever the Mikel for 4 firsts thing comes up, it always makes me think they don't have picks, because why the fuck wouldn't you take that? Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat. Didn't know the Knicks were playing or that they won. Yo, where is Sam? Get the likes up, Knicks fans. Sam is probably sleeping because he had parent-teacher conference this week. So our resident expert in educating the youth is taking a well-deserved rest and break from the Run.down. We don't think he's serious about it. He's saying it was parent-teacher conferences. He's probably with his wife. And that's fair. Love wins on the Run.down. And we appreciate a good family, man. Like Sam. He's gonna hear this tomorrow and he's gonna fucking clown me, but that's fine.
No, I don't know. If he might not even watch, dude. Who knows? Sam, if you're watching this, I didn't say anything.
Sam, if you're watching this, you haven't won in a week, bro. You're kind of slipping. They're having discussions about including Caitlin Clark and another NBA player in the 3-point contest next season. That'd be fire. Honestly, just do 4-4. Like nobody wants to watch the dunk contest. Then again, Zion said he'll do it if he's an all-star next season.
So he's an all-star lock. We know that.
Yeah, so he's gonna be an all-star. It's like I probably didn't get to talk about it, but like people are like, oh, how do you fix the all-star weekend? Just pay people. Just throw money just throw money at people. Like that's how you get people to actually take it seriously. Or at least like get the athletic role players in the league back into it. Like if you give them like a good pot, then people will do it.
Or you just gotta like force it to be competitive. Like make it a 3v3 tournament.
No, they did that already, and that sucked.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just give like a $3 million pool or whatever. Like you have the money for it. Who cares? It's coming out of whatever billionaire's pocket. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, Mickey Arison needs another boat. Like who cares? So just pay. Like if Pat Connaughton is too good for the dunk contest, that's when you know you just gotta throw some. You gotta throw some bread.
Yeah, wrap that shit up, bro.
Yeah, like you can get like some athletic wing or some athletic big that it's in Jericho Sims.
Respect Jericho.
No. I don't respect Jericho's dunk contest. That shit was ass.
No, not the dunk contest. Just him.
I respect Jericho as a fringe rotation player, and that's okay.
He held it down tonight a little bit. I will say he played really well tonight.
He's been playing better as of late since I yelled at him on Twitter.
I didn't see that.
Would you rather Mikal or OG? OG. Like,
I mean,
for this context, easily OG. Because Mikal, despite the fact that Mikal is like, I'm going off his Phoenix days because his Brooklyn sample doesn't matter because he's being miscast as the number one option when he is not a number one option at all.
He might not even be a 2.
He's not like he's a 3. Like we saw he what like maybe he has equity as a 2 now, but it's like he's not a creator. He's not a guy you can like ask to generate consistent offense. He's like at the 55 true shooting or whatever.
That's like RJ efficiency.
No, RJ was worse.
Not right now.
Not yet. Now he's at like 61.
What is he on the year? 57 on the year. And I think it is 61 as a Raptor. 62 as a Raptor. God damn.
Yeah, we could have used that shit, but whatever, bro. Whatever. But yeah, the thing with McCall is like he was efficient. He didn't take threes. He did not take threes. And he doesn't really shoot them at volume well. He took a lot of 2s and he was good at them. But I feel like the Knicks want more of a spacer. And the big thing as well is like he does not guard as well as OG does. OG is just significantly better at like guarding bigs.
This is RJ we're talking, right?
Oh no, I'm talking about McCall.
Oh, okay. Word.
Yeah. Like I think he just guards 1 to 5 more effectively. Especially he guards like bigger wings more effectively.
Well, he's just built bigger. Like I know Mikal probably is taller and has a Does he have a
OG's taller?
OG is Mikal 6'7" or 6'6"?
Mikal 6'6".
Oh, okay.
OG's 6'7", but he looks like he's 6'9".
OG is an enormous human being. I say it every time it comes up.
Huge.
He's massive. Pause.
And he's like 232. I think McCall's like 220.
Yeah.
McCall's probably like 220, and like OG's like 235, 240.
Take your point about the being able to guard 1 to 5. Like OG just having that extra size. Pause. All
right.
It just sorry. It just makes it so much easier to look at a guy like that and pinpoint him as like your last piece or like your second to last piece on the championship team.
You're pinpointing his size, bro. All right.
You said that. I did not say that.
All right, bro.
Don't put words in my mouth. Don't do that shit. But see, now you threw me off track. God damn it. But yeah, I mean, OG, I think like he's proven to be better as a tertiary option. Mikal looked really good. He was playing off Devin Booker and still a really good Chris Paul. But like we're seeing with OG just how effective he can be playing next to guys like Jalen and Julius. And I don't think it's crazy to say that Julius and Jalen are like a better duo than CP and Book were when Mikal was playing with Phoenix. But OG is a better 3-point shooter. He's a better defender. He's not a better playmaker per se, but like he can make things happen if he wants to, or if he can.
Like, I think he's a better defensive playmaker.
Yeah,
he would just create shit because he's just large and in the way.
Yeah, because Mikal, like, I don't doubt any of Mikal's ability to lock up, but OGs are going to be so much more disruptive just because, like you said, he'll like get a hand in a passing lane. He's just fucking, he's just a large human. So guys aren't going to look to like make him or make a pass that's one pass away if OG's anywhere in the vicinity. And one-on-one, you just can't move him at all. Like even centers can't move him.
Like he guards Jokic.
Like he guards Embiid and Jokic.
Yep. Which is why the Knicks have wanted him for 3 years because they're like, we don't have that level of defender, and the fact that you could like put Mitch or Hartenstein into space, especially in the scheme where we switch everything, the fact that you have the best switch defender in the league, like you saw it. Like he legitimately transformed the Knicks defense from worst to first.
Yeah.
Because now it's like we have a wing who could just switch everything. And then he could also knock down the threes we need him to knock down, and he just creates defensive opportunities. I also think the big thing with McCall is like, if you're trading for McCall, he's replacing DiVincenzo, and there's no way of replacing him. I'm not taking out DiVincenzo right now. He's, again, top 3 shooter in the league, arguably top 2. The fact that he's still an above average defender, like he's a good playmaker, and he's just gonna take the 3. Like he's taking 15 threes per 100 possessions. That's Steph Curry shit.
Yeah.
Like that is Steph Curry shit.
On Steph efficiency too, which is wild.
Yes, like nobody else in the league is shooting threes at this clip. Aside from like on-ball creators like Luka and
Steph himself.
Yeah. And Luka's only taking 13 per 100. Granted, like he's playing more minutes, but like that should tell you like the level of threes that DiVincenzo's generating is like stuff. I don't think the Knicks have ever seen this level of threes. Like Fournier had that really good season, but like
the fuck out of here.
Yeah. But what? You're looking like I think Steph Curry's at 17, and then besides that it's DiVincenzo. So that should tell you like the quality of threes that he's generating is stuff that isn't normal.
Yeah. And I mean, just like you said this earlier. Sorry,
go ahead.
You said this earlier in the stream. But it's not like he's taking a bunch of easy threes either. He's taking some ridiculously contested shots. I think it was NBA University. They posted the highest efficiency for contested catch and shoot field goal attempts. Dante's shooting like 57% on contested catch and shoot threes. Like that's unheard of. And the spacing's just going to get better once guys get back. Like he's only taking the quality of his threes are only so poor because it's basically just he and Jalen trying to.
And he's still making them at like 38%.
Yeah, like only the last 2 games he's been really poor shooting the ball, but like he's earned some bad shooting nights, 100%. And if the bad shooting nights are going to come in 24-point wins and a close loss without any starter playing, I think you'll accept that because he'll make up for it by shooting fucking 5 for 5 or go nuclear one time and make like 7 threes in a playoff game.
Yep.
Like that's a
But
trade-off you're willing to make.
it's literally Steph Curry, Sam Merrill, and then Dante DiVincenzo for threes for 100 possessions. And Sam Merrill is being influenced by the fact that like he played significantly less time than those guys. He's played around 1,000 less minutes than both of them. So yeah, you're legitimately looking at him and Steph being like the arguably two best shooters in the league on like high ass volume.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Alec Burks is 6th on that list.
Is he?
Yeah, he's shooting 38% on from 3 on 13.3 3 for 100.
If nothing else,
he will get
tells you how bad Detroit is.
He will get those shots up though.
Oh my god. It was like the fucking whenever Fournier would get his spot minutes before we traded him, he would come in and take like 5 shots in the first 3 minutes.
Yep.
Special shot chuckers.
Dude, Alec Burks, the fact that he took 14 shots in 12 minutes last game made me laugh my ass off. Like that dude, when I'm taking these shots, he's like, "You got 12 minutes." He's like, "Bet."
Yeah, that's the one thing about Burks, man, is he'll always shoot the ball.
For better or for worse.
Probably won't go in a lot of the time. But he's never shy to just shoot anything.
He's special. Oh, wait. Oh, hater stat of the night, baby. Hater stat of the night.
Oh,
Bam Adebayo. 5 points, 1 of 9 from the field, 4 turnovers. Yeah, buddy.
Special talent. Special talent, Bam Adebayo.
Uh-huh. God, what a loser. Again, the fact that he does not take threes irks my soul. Like, dude, how do you not have a corner 3 6 years into your career? With good free throw touch and good midi touch.
Yeah.
That's you want to be DeMar DeRozan?
Even DeMar can kind of shoot.
Yeah, like DeMar will at least take threes.
Yeah.
Like, Bam does not take threes, which is insane to me.
It kind of craters their offense.
Yes, like it puts a ceiling on them because like he's not going to take threes.
And like it feels like all of those guys or all of their offensive creators operate in the same space. Like Terry being there definitely helps. Yeah. But like Jimmy, Bam, even Terry himself, like Jaime Jaquez, if you want to include him, all those guys operate in the mid-range. So then you're getting like a Knicks situation from last year where it's like, if nobody's going to shoot the ball, it's going to be probably bottom 5 offense in the league. Or it's going to look like it at the very least. And your stars are just not going to get easy shots because teams are going to pack the paint and dare your guys to shoot.
Yeah, it legitimately baffles me that he does not take threes. Like you have good free throw touch, and you shoot mid-range jumpers. Just go to the corner. If he just hits corner threes at like 37%, I swear that Miami offense looks so much better because now Jimmy gets free lane.
Yeah. Dude, he's shooting 7% from 3 this year.
Nuts.
On
14 attempts.
0.3 attempts a game.
Yeah, 14 total attempts.
Like, oh my god.
Okay,
that is
I've talked about this multiple times on the pod. I can't do it anymore, dude.
Yeah, I'll leave it. But
God.
like the fact that his highest 3-point attempts per game is this year at 0.3.
It's insanity. Like, for all the Heat culture shit, he is the complete opposite of it because he does not want to take the most important shot in basketball. Whatever.
It's so nasty. But it's not my problem.
Index, top 5 guards and self-created shot making: Luka, SGA, Devin Booker, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson. Shot making takes shot quality and volume into account. I mean, yeah. I mean, Jalen Brunson is one of the best self-creators in the league. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. I've never doubted that his ability to get his shot off. But I think the fact that he's like taking threes early shot clock threes, pull up threes. He's not dribbling like outside. He's not dribbling like one dribble pull ups anymore. Like he's gotten rid of that shot, or not gotten rid of it, but he's gotten rid of it to his standards, where it's like he won't take them 3 times a game. He'll take them once a game, and that's all you want him to do.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like a multi-year project for the Knicks development staff, where it's like you saw that playoff series 2 years ago against the Warriors, where they would leave him, they would go under on screens, and he could not punish them. And now it's if you go under on screens, he's pulling up, and it's turned him from very good offensive player to all NBA caliber superstar, who's arguably a top 12 player in the league right now. So,
I mean, per EPM, he probably is.
Yeah, I think for EPM, he's probably. I want to say he's like in the top 10 for EPM.
1, 2, definitely not defensively, but
for offensive EPM,
he's 7th in the league in offensive EPM, behind only Giannis, Shea, Halliburton, Embiid, Jokic, and Luka.
That makes sense.
Special player, man. Special player.
Yep, and if he's not at least second team All NBA, it's a scam. He needs to be second all. He needs to be second All NBA, second team. He has a case for first because Jason Tatum sucks, but whatever.
Well, Tatum will just get it because he's Tatum.
No, but he won't get MVP though, and that's a win for America.
No, but they should give him MVP because he's not as good as the other MVP.
That was just a wild argument. He's like, I could score more, but my team is so good, I don't score as much. You should give me MVP, and then he throws up stinkers, back-to-back games against the Nuggets and who else did they play?
Fuck. I think they won despite him being asked.
No, the Cavs. The Dean.
Oh yeah, they blew the fucking 20-point lead to the Cavs. To Dean Wade. Hell yeah.
What a franchise. What a team. Okay, so I guess we could talk about the next couple of games because they'll be both against the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday and then Tuesday again.
Do we know if Maxi's playing? At least
I'm not
Sunday
sure.
Game?
I know he didn't play today.
Because concussions are like not something to fuck with.
Yep. But I mean, I think even if he does play, I feel like the Knicks win both these games.
Yeah.
They blew out. They realistically were blowing them out. The first game out of the break. I feel like the Sixers still are kind of trying to figure it out still.
Mm-hmm.
But these kind of feel like the games where if you want to make sure you're at least top 6 for sure, you win these games.
Yeah.
So the fact that they already have like the season series against the Heat, and now they can put away the Sixers, kind of feels like the Knicks are going to go for blood. And if they have OG and Anunoby, I feel like they absolutely win this game.
And I mean, speaking of, I know we're like past that, but season series against the Cavs is also big.
Yep.
So, like you said, like we should win despite or regardless of OG playing and even Tyrese Maxey playing. But it really just depends on what role players get hot for either team. Because Buddy could easily just hit like 5 threes, or like Oubre could have like 25 off the bench for no reason.
True.
So it's kind of just like we have to shut off any source of their offense, like make Tobias Harris take over the game type thing.
Yep, but I feel like the Knicks win. I can see some good games for Precious coming. I'll be interested to see how much OG plays if he does play on Sunday. It looks like he's going to play on Sunday because I think they said he went through a full practice.
Yeah, they said last step was just getting cleared by doctors.
Yeah, so I feel like he'll get cleared tomorrow, and then he'll probably play, and then Brando probably comes a couple weeks after that, maybe after the West Coast trip.
Yeah, I want to look because we go West Coast right after the second Philly game, right?
Yeah,
and that's probably for like 6 games.
4.
Oh, short West Coast trip. I'll take that.
Yeah, so I think it's Blazers, Kings, Warriors, Nuggets, and then they're back home against the Knicks on the 23rd.
So I'm guessing the 23rd is probably going to be Julius's target return date.
Yeah, because then they get the Raptors. Yeah, you get
This
Nets,
is the stretch that I was talking about earlier.
Yep. That kind of feels like a stretch where it makes sense for the Knicks to introduce Randall if he's ready.
Yeah, like
And I doubt he would travel given the fact that West Coast, so like you keep him at home and then he should be good for the Nets. Yeah, the Nets and the Pistons. Those are like the games you probably wanted to get his speed up against.
I mean, even if he comes back as late as Toronto, that's still 10 games of ramp up.
Yep.
And then for OG, even if he doesn't come back until the first game of the West Coast trip, he's getting like 20 games. So,
Yep. So that feels good.
Yeah, and like this, there's a lot of winnable games on the schedule, man. Like Thunder is going to be difficult. Nuggets is not going to be easy. Milwaukee again. And the Celtics late. But like other than that, we play the Bulls 3 times for some reason. We play the Nets twice. Raptors, Pistons, Blazers. Warriors is winnable because they probably won't have Steph.
No, they'll probably have Steph because I think they said the injury wasn't as bad as they thought it was.
Oh, I thought they still said a couple weeks.
No,
Evaluation.
they said that he might miss a couple games.
Oh, okay. So I mean that also could go either way. It really just depends on when OG plays. That's really all it is.
And I think he plays. To answer Jordan Bob's question in chat, I think he ends up playing Sunday.
Yeah, I think if not Sunday, he definitely
plays too. Yeah, it'll either be Sunday or Tuesday, one of those two. But yep. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode of Pod Strickland. Wrong
Pod
show.
Strickland.
Wrong show.
It's because we didn't change the layout.
Wrong show. This episode of the Run.down. Luke, anything to plug before we head off?
Just keep an eye out for Film Thread tomorrow morning. Probably be up around like 12, hopefully before 1 o'clock. Thank you, Brian Benjamin, for the super chats. Really appreciate that. And yeah, thanks for tapping in, guys.
Yep.
Been a good show.
I want to shout out Sam because he's a family man.
Shout out to Sam.
And shout out Schwinn because he's not serious enough about this job. And
he doesn't love it like we do.
He hasn't locked in. He hasn't been locked in since All-Star break. And I feel like you should add Schwinn on Twitter and tell him that he needs to be locked in.
Say Tyrese
if you're watching this show.
Yeah.
All right. But thank you guys. We'll see you Sunday night.
Yep. Peace.